everybody, today is part 5 of our WHOOPA cardigan crochet along, and now we are almost at the end of the body of our sweater. So like you know, we started here with one sleeve, went back and forth, then the back, then here, and today we're going to do the second sleeve. And so this is me having finished part 5 here actually, and when you put it together like this, then you can see what it's going to be looking like. So after today, then you should have a piece looking like this here. And this is the second sleeve. And I still have my ball here attached because we're not supposed to break the yarn here. And once we finish this second sleeve, then we're going to tomorrow do the ripping here on the sleeves and sew it together. The only sewing together is here just under the sleeve and down the sides on both sides. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So today is the second sleeve, and I know it's been a bit of a maybe a full plate plan of like quite a lot of crocheting per day. Again, you don't have to follow with the rhythm if you don't want to, but tomorrow actually will then be like a short part, so then you can work up also if you want. Yeah, but today it's the second sleeve. Whoopa! And let's get to it. Yay! Okay, on we go with part 5 of the WHOOPA CAL. Whoop whoop! So, when I left you yesterday, we had finished our second piece of the front and back. The long one here, which is impossible for me to film. So, what we're going to do now, and this was the first time that we actually cut our yarn, because now what we are going to do, we are going to work the sleeve here on the middle part of this. So, first of all, before we start the sleeve, we want to divide this part here, the long part, into into 2 parts. Okay. So if I can show you, if I just take off my camera a bit, show you here. So this was the back here that we were doing, right? And then we had the long part here. That was way too long to film, so we're going to take that 2 together, and we're going to divide this. What we did last, we finished with 116, am I right? Yeah, I think so. And we're going to divide this here into 2 parts. So you're going to count in this size. We want to have 58 stitches from here, from the bottom, and up to, this will be the shoulder here, the middle. Okay, I hope I'm explaining myself. So we had 116 stitches on our back and front bit, this large one here, and we want to put a stitch marker in the middle here. So now on each side of this here stitch marker, I have 58 stitches going down to the back, and then 58 stitches going down to the front side. Okay, and from this stitch marker here, we're going to count to each direction, starting here to the right. For the large size, we have 22 stitches to the right, and we're going to put a stitch marker here then in the 23rd. And to the left as well, from the stitch marker here in the middle, we're going to count 22 stitches here as well. And so in between these here are our 44 stitches, which will be the sleeve, right? There's one here on the left, and then in between the stitch markers, we have 44 stitches for the large. For the medium, it's 40 stitches, right? Okay, and this is going to mark our sleeve. I hope I am being clear. At least I have talked long enough about it. Okay, so now what we do for row 1 of the sleeve is that we take our yarn, our hook. I'm actually starting on my 6th ball of skein of yarn here. I thought it was the 5th, but then either I lost one or it's the 6th. And like I said, I put the stitch marker here in the 23rd stitch from the middle, and so that I wouldn't have it hanging in the stitch that I'm going to work into. And we're working from the front side, so we are going to be working into the back loop. So here's my stitch marker in the 23rd, and I'm just going to insert my hook here into the back loop of the 22nd stitch from the middle here. And we're going to do 2 chains, and now we work 44 half double crochet stitches in this first row of the sleeve. So we're situating the sleeve here around the shoulder, sort of in the middle bit of our last front and back piece. And while I do this, the first row, I'm definitely going to work over my chain here. In this one here now, we do not have to do our little trick because we just fastened it here, and I'm just going to go into the next one and start to do my first here. So we want 44 stitches. That's the 2 chains count from 1. So now I do 43 more. Okay. Oops. Wow, I'm doing a double crochet, not half double crochet. I can't remember the last time I did a double crochet. I've just been doing whoopas like a crazy woman. So just into each and every stitch and lay your tail here on top. So we're working over that one at the same time, so we don't have to weave that in later. And this is then the first row of the second sleeve. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if you're doing the medium size, then your sleeve starts with 40 stitches, but if you're doing the large, as I am doing, it starts with 44. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well with the CAL. I'm really excited. Full disclosure, I'm filming this now, what is it, Sunday evening. So I'm filming this like 2 days before we start. And so I haven't seen anything yet, but I am very excited to see. Okay, so now I'm here at the stitch mark that I put in the middle of the last row. So I'm halfway with my sleeve. And we want 22 more stitches, always into the back loop here, so that we have the same look on our fabric. The last row was from the back side, and now we're from the front sides of the fabric. But yes, I am getting very excited to see how you are doing with your whoopas. I hope you find it as easy as I do, but I mean, I think you will, because I'm showing you everything, so I think we're good. Okay, almost there. Always into the back loop, just 1 half double crochet into each. And one more here. And let's just count to be sure. I'm supposed to have 44. If you're doing the medium, then it's 40. So it's the 2 chain count as 1. And then we go 2, 4, 8. What is this here? 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 48, 2, 3, 4, 44. Okay, so this here will be our sleeve then, that we just started. We did row 1 now. And the first 4 rows, where's my pen? Oh, I dropped it. Sorry. So the first 4 rows are just straight, okay? So I'm just going to do here 1, 2, 4, and you're just going to be working straight here. If you're doing the longer version of the sleeves, I'm doing just the normal version of the sleeves. If you're doing the longer version, then you do 8 rows here now to start with. I'm just going to do 4. If you're doing the longer version, then you start with 8, and these first 4 or 8 rows are just basic as we've been doing all along. So you can do those on your own. I'm just going to start. So you just now turn here. For row 2, then you just turn, you do your 2 chains and your little trick here in the beginning. Now we're working from the back side, so we're working into the 3rd chain, and we do our little trick here in the beginning of getting the yarn here first, and then the second one, and 4 up and all together, and just 1 half double crochet into each stitch. And like I said, I don't think I have to show you this here now, because you've been doing this for ages now and you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So just back and forth now here, these 44 stitches, or 40 if you're doing the medium. Total of 4 rows for the normal length sleeves, 8 rows if you're doing the longer version. And then we start the decrease, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? I'm going to do my 4 rows and I'll be back with you. Okay, on we go. I did the first 4 rows here of the sleeve, which was just back and forth, 44 stitches, nothing happening really. And now I'm going to show you how to do row 5, how to decrease. If you're making the long version, this will be row 9. Okay, but I'm just gonna, you can see the other rows in the pattern. I'm just going to be talking here in the normal length. Okay, so this is row 5, or the decrease row, and in the sleeve, and it's very, very simple. Remember when we were doing the other sleeve, then we would always increase just 1 stitch on each end of a row, and now we're just going to decrease 1 stitch on each end of a row. So it's very easy, nothing happening really. So we are now working from the front side, so we're going to be working in our back loop. We're going to start off as normally, 2 chains here. I already made those, and then we're going to do a little trick here at the end. And then we do the decrease, and the decrease is just like our end trick, beginning of row trick. So you yarn over, we're just going to work 2 stitches together. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull your yarn up, you have 3 loops up on your hook, then you go into the next stitch, pull again up, we have 4 loops up on our hook, and we're going to take them all together. Okay, so now we did 1 decrease, we decreased 1 stitch here at the beginning of the row, and then we just work all the way over to the end of the row, just 1 stitch into each and every stitch, 1 half double crochet, always into the back loop because we're working from the front side of the fabric, and la 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 la. Just 1 stitch at a time, and this will bring us to the end of our work. It's something comforting about this. Just concentrate on what you're doing right now, 1 stitch, and in the end we will have a cardigan. 1 step at a time, right? And actually, once we finish this today, part 5, then we have made most of the body of the sweater. Like, we're way more than halfway there actually. Very professional touch of me, always like bumping my hook into the camera. Oh well, not the worst thing can happen either. Okay, I'm almost at the end, so we're gonna work just 1 stitch into each and every stitch of the sleeve here, row 5, until we have 3 stitches left. That is the 2 chains and 2 normal stitches. Okay, so these are the 2 chains here, and this is 1 and 2 stitches here where I'm going to do my decrease, and I have 2 more stitches to go normally. So until you have 3 stitches to do at the end, you just work 1 into each. And now we're going to decrease, doing our little trick, just the same as we always do at the beginning of the row. So we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up our yarn. So we have 3 loops up on our hook, and not yarn over, just go straight into the next stitch and pull up our yarn. So we have 4 loops up on your hook, and we'll put all together, and now we've done 1 stitch decrease. And then we work 1 half double crochet into the second chain here at the end. And now we have made a decrease row. So instead of the 44 stitches that we had, we have now 42 stitches, okay? So it's really easy. And I know I did this with you the whole way through with the first sleeve, but I have made an executive decision here that you do not need me to show you this again, because all the decreasing rows are the same. Just decrease 1 at the beginning of the row and 1 at the end of the row. So here's what we're going to do now. We first made the rows 1 to 4 and had 44 stitches. Now we did row 5, which was the decrease. Now we work 4 rows without any decrease, and that's 42 stitches. Okay, 6 to 9, 42 stitches. Row 10, another decrease row. You decrease 2, so rows 11 to 14 are 40 stitches, okay? 15, again, you decrease, and then we will have 38 stitches after that one, and then 16 to 24, you just work straight 38 stitches, okay? So I'm not going to even ask if you've got this. I know you've got this. This is very easy. So you just continue and always work 4 normal rows, and then you do 1 decrease row, and then 4. And in total, we do 3 times the decrease. So we're taking out here first 2, 4, and 6 total decrease stitches. Okay, so on we go. I'm gonna go work my sleeve and perhaps watch another Seinfeld show. And then I'll show you what it looks like at the other end. But again, very easy. Now, next up is 4 rows with no decrease, and then you do another decrease, 4 normal, 1 decrease, 4 normal. Okay? And if you're doing the long version, you just have to remember that the row count is a bit different, but that's all in pattern. So, okay, you've got this. Go, go, go. Onwards with the sleeve, you guys. Okay, so I have finished my sleeve here, the second sleeve. Whoop, as you can see, my whole 24 rows. And just to go through it with you again. So we started with the 4 rows here. You can see the stitch mark that I put in the center of the 112 stitches in the beginning. And the stitch mark here on the each side of the sleeve. And then we did 4 just straight. And then in row 5, there was a decrease, 1 on each side, then 4 without decrease. Hey, yeah, decrease, increase, decrease, almost decrease. And then on 10, we did another decrease, another 4 without. And on 15, we did another decrease. And then there was rows 16 to 24, which are what? 8 rows, just straight here in the end, right? And now we have all 24 rows of the sleeve. That's 28 if you're doing the longer version. And do not break your yarn here. We are next up is going to be, actually tomorrow we're going to do a quick part because I know they've been a bit, you know, ample each part, these first 5. So tomorrow we're just going to do the ribbing on the sleeve and sewing together the sleeve and the sides. Okay, so that was part 5 of the WHOOPA CAL, all done, the second sleeve, and now we've almost just finished the body of our cardigan, and tomorrow we're going to sew it together and do the ribbing on the sleeves. Okay, whoop whoop, hope it's going well, you guys.